All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're talking about a technology that's aiming to solve one of the biggest problems in AI today, and it's called GraphRAG.
But before we get to the solution, let's start with the problem. You've probably experienced this. You ask a super powerful AI a question, and it comes back with an answer that's confident, sounds totally plausible, but is just completely made up. So why on earth does that happen?
This isn't just a quirky little glitch. For any business trying to actually use generative AI for serious work, this is a massive trust problem. You just can't make critical decisions based on a tool that might be inventing its facts.
So what's going on here? Well, the industry has a name for it: hallucinations. And they happen for a pretty simple reason. These AI models are designed first and foremost to be helpful and give you an answer. They aren't always designed to be factual. On top of that, their knowledge is usually based on a snapshot of data from the past, so they often don't know about the latest events.
So let's just nail down this definition so we're all on the same page. At its core, a hallucination is when an AI spits out something that's either just plain wrong or, and this part is really key, not based on the specific information it was supposed to be using for that answer.
Okay, so to fix this whole mess, a really smart idea came along called Retrieval-Augmented Generation, or RAG for short. The basic concept? Don't let the AI just pull answers out of thin air.
It's a pretty logical three-step process. First, you retrieve the right information from a source you actually trust, like your own company's internal documents. Second, you augment the user's question with all those juicy facts. And finally, you tell the AI to generate its answer using only that info you just gave it. It's basically like giving the AI an open book test where it has all the answers right in front of it.
Sounds great, right? A perfect solution. Well, not quite. The most common way this is done, which uses something called vector search, has one big fundamental flaw.
Here's the best way to think about it. Standard RAG is kind of like trying to understand a novel by just ripping out a few pages that seem relevant. You get some facts from those pages, for sure, but you completely lose the plot. You have no idea how those pages connect to the rest of the story. The goal isn't just to have the facts, it's to understand the context.
And as Michael Hunger from Neo4j puts it, if you feed the AI fragments, you're gonna get fragmented answers. The AI can't possibly see the bigger picture because we've only shown it a few disconnected puzzle pieces.
And this is exactly where GraphRAG comes into the picture. To solve this, we need to stop thinking about just finding individual facts and start focusing on the connections between them. And for that, we use something called a knowledge graph.
What is a knowledge graph? Honestly, the easiest way to think about it is like a digital brain. Every little piece of information, a person, a place, a company, is a node. But here's the magic. The lines connecting those nodes are relationships, and they explicitly explain how everything is related.
This is so powerful because it allows us to take all of our messy, siloed, disconnected data and transform it into this beautiful, organized, connected network. All of a sudden, the relationships become just as important as the facts themselves. You can see how everything fits together.
Okay, so we have this amazing connected network. How does an AI actually use it to find better, more complete answers? This right here is the heart of GraphRAG.
See, instead of just grabbing those lonely, isolated chunks of text, GraphRAG finds the best starting point in this massive web of data, and then it literally starts exploring, following the connections from one node to the next to gather all the surrounding context.
And it's not just one trick. It has a whole toolkit to do this. It can use vector search to find that perfect starting point. Then it can do a neighborhood traversal to see everything directly connected. It can find the shortest path between two different ideas. It can even ask really complex structural questions of the data.
So let's walk through a quick example. The system finds a relevant document. It pulls out the key things inside it, like a person and a company. Then it looks at everything directly connected to them. Those are their neighbors. But it doesn't stop there. It then goes and looks at their neighbors, the second-degree connections. It scoops up all this interconnected info to build a really rich, complete picture for the AI.
All right, that's the how. But what about the so what? Does all this extra work of exploring connections actually pay off in the real world? Oh yeah, it pays off. Big time. Just look at this. Because GraphRAG gets the full context, the quality of the answers it produces is just dramatically higher. We're not talking about a small improvement here. This is a total game changer.
And this ability to see the bigger picture, to understand the full story, is absolutely critical when the stakes are high. In these situations, getting a fragmented answer isn't just unhelpful, it could be a disaster.
We're already seeing this technology make a huge difference across all kinds of industries. Investment firms use it to find hidden relationships between companies. Banks use it to spot incredibly complex fraud rings. It's even being used in biotech to connect different research papers and speed up drug discovery.
So, if you take away one thing from all this, let it be this. GraphRAG makes AI smarter, more reliable, and just plain more trustworthy. And it does it by focusing not just on the facts, but on the connections between them, because that's where the real context lives.
Which really leaves you with a final thought to chew on. In this age where we're all just drowning in information, maybe finding a single answer isn't the most important thing anymore. Maybe the real challenge is understanding how it's all connected.